From Fireman's Field West, the site of the game of the week, each and every week, I am Norman Jamal. On my right is Saul Towell. Saul, welcome back for another week of predictions and a little bit of a recap of the week that was.
I think I did well last week in predictions.
You did well last
Despite
week.
getting multiple texts from the Cucumbers bashing me for my incorrect prediction.
Yes, well, Time played terrible on Sunday and still only lost by 1 run each. I never saw more mistakes in a softball game where you were playing a first place team and then you could have still beaten them,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Well, we're a great team.
First of all, you're not a great team when you make mistakes like that over and over and over again. I mean, Jacob had the game on his bat twice. All he had to do was fly out, and he lined out. I mean, he hit the ball well, but you got to give yourself up there. You had the ball in your glove. A baddie grounded out, ball hit your glove. Got to make the play, and then you don't even have to make the throw. You got to touch third only. And Jimmy Malach to make 2 base running gaffes, 2 of them with Zach Ashkenazi on deck, is not acceptable. You can't make that many mistakes against the first place team and expect to win. The first place team is going to win a close game when you make mistake after mistake after mistake like that. You also lost your heads. Jeffrey Sacco, letting Ike Bitesh get triples and doubles and big hits when he's supposed to. That's on the pitcher. You can't let the 10 batter on another team that's batting more than he usually does because they're short-handed or whatever it is. You can't let the 10 batter beat you like that in front of their 1, 2, 3 when they have a baddie and Jake and Mark and all these monsters coming up behind them. You cannot let Ike Bitesh beat you. I don't know one person on your team that played well. Shimmy's wearing a jacket like he's boarding a flight for the first 2, 3 innings of the game. He looked like he was going, I don't know where he was going, skiing or moving out of an apartment or something. He was wearing a bomber jacket, this fat. That's not how you play center field. Aharon's going down looking against his father, A.B. Cohen. At least Michael swung the bat. So I think Time played as bad as you could possibly play. And then, of course, once they start losing, this bunch starts crying about it. And we had issues with Raw Dog abusing a cooler, T-Puppy going crazy and cursing, Zach losing his mind. So I don't know how you call your team a great team. Sorry for that rant, but when you call your team a great team, when you're 1-3 and you perform like that, I can't let it go.
The atmosphere in the Tom organization is that we're a very good team. We just need to clean up a few things, and then we have the pieces, like you see. We can compete with the best of the teams, So that's where our outlook is. Obviously, we lost Jimmy Malak this week for the year. Picked up Sam Michon, so we're moving around our field a little bit. We're very excited, and we're looking forward to a fresh start.
So you guys picked up Sam Michon. I love the pickup. I think it helps your team tremendously. I think now you put Sam in center field, and now that allows you to move Shimmy and Aharon to the corners. I would go Aharon in right because he played there last year, and Shimmy in left, but I don't know what you guys are going to end up doing with that. You also get Nate Bitesh back for third base, which pushes you back to the right side.
And our 1 batter back.
And your 1 batter pushes you back to the right side. And Sam Michon gives you more speed than Jimmy, although Jimmy's a top 5 hitter in the league. I mean, he's a top 5 hitter. But when you go 4 for 4 and you make 2 outs on the base paths, that's like going 2 for 4.
Correct.
So all of a sudden you're not a top 5 hitter.
Correct.
So, but I do feel horrible for Jimmy. He didn't play last year because of injury, and now this year he's going to be out the rest of the year.
Tough break. I hope he's able to play in at least the summer or something like that.
Yeah, I hope so. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, maybe the night league in the summer, or I don't know.
I hope so, because Jimmy really loves the game.
He loves the game.
He loves it really as much as anyone. So I hope he. I hope he recovers quickly.
Kakamba's real quick. I mean, they have a better lineup than people thought. People thought it was only a baddie and Mark or whatever, but when you have Sal Fallis, even when he hit an out, hitting the ball, I don't know, 300 feet. How far was that shot?
Sal Fallis hit about 4 balls that should be home runs. We were playing in the moon.
Yeah.
The Boondocks we were playing.
How do you know to play that deep?
I don't know how that's not my report. That's Zach, that's Jimmy. They know the guys.
Good research.
Anybody. And they had him playing all. I was sitting at third base on that first hit. I said, home run. Second one, home run. And then you turn around and there's a guy 400 feet back.
Yeah.
Camped under it.
So
that's just phenomenal scouting. That's a warning to the league. In terms of Sal Fallis' hitting, gotta level it out because that's it. You're not going to hit a 500-foot home run when everyone knows this is what you're doing. And if you do it every time, you're going to get out every time.
Some of those were deep enough where I think not every outfield will catch him. You guys were really deep.
I think he's a phenomenal batter, as evidenced by the length of the shots. All I'm saying is, if we got to hit the middle of the ball, because you're going to have to start hitting line drives. Once
That's the next step.
catches up to
Yeah,
that, you got to start hitting the
But
ball.
I think he's going to get 2-3 homers before.
Because that's how you get.
Yeah.
That's how Giacobatti gets triples on base hits.
Of
because
course.
the guys are playing in the boondocks. So if you have the ability to hit that ball that far, you should be getting triples on singles.
That's his next progression. Hit a
For
couple
sure.
of bombs, the whole league will move back, and then the great players learn how to, the great hitters at least, learn how to hit that
Take
ball
your
right
singles,
up the
and
middle.
It's an auto double.
Like you said, it's an auto double, and if you're a baddie or you Jake DeWeck, it's even a triple or
Correct.
whatever. So there's an art to that, and it's not easy, and many people are not that. Many people, you just play in the moon and you hope they fly out. And, like we've seen Al Gamal or people like that, just play them deep and you'll catch the fly ball and nothing to worry about.
Right.
Okay, let's go over to I don't want to come to this field yet because we have a special guest coming to talk about the game that happened on Fireman's West.
All right.
Let's go over to Fireman's East where we saw threat level Midnight, captain by the fearless Dano, who's making an early bid for captain of the year with the architect that he is, the team that he built on threat level Midnight against Navy. There's always this rumor, has Navy been swept? Has Navy been not? It was week 7, it didn't matter. He was this, he was that. Navy at full strength this week got swept by a wide margin. Combined score 10-1 against what I think is the best team in the league, threat level Midnight. 5-1 and 5-0. They did not score after the second batter of the game. Jordy started with a triple.
Storyline Eddie Harari.
Storyline Eddie Harari and storyline lack of offense on You Gotta Believe. I can't give all the credit to Eddie Harari. He was phenomenal. He didn't walk anybody. His D made plays. He threw strikes. He only had 2 walks in 14 innings. You give him all the credit in the world, but as I said from earlier, I am concerned about the offense on You Gotta Believe, and that concern is not going away. They didn't make a trade yet.
Playing this year?
So
Played this week.
This upcoming week, threat level Midnight is playing the Aces. We'll talk about the upcoming game shortly, but they're playing the Aces. But let's talk about this past game. Are you crediting threat level or are you discrediting the offense on You Gotta Believe?
No, I'm crediting threat level. Anytime you put up one run, that's got it. A ton of that goes to the pitcher, especially when you look at the metrics of the one run, the no walks and the big moments and just shutting down a team completely. That's for sure on Eddie Harari. The guy's opening eyes completely. He's looking to get himself. It's very early. He's looking to get himself in the Navy, Yedid, and Harari category. That's for sure. He's making an early bid at that.
Maybe
I think he's
Yedid and
Harari.
He is Harari. You're
I'm
putting.
saying he's making a push to be in that caliber of players.
Okay.
I think he can get there. And they're playing the Aces. The Aces.
Don't go to next week's games yet for 1 second.
Oh,
Okay.
you want to hold?
Yeah, I want to just recap for a second. Okay. Now let's go over to the other Oceanport game. Let's talk about the Aces. All right. This is the Yedid team, the red team. They're 3-1, which is the best record a red team has had since Mean Machine was 4-1 at one point before they lost 10 of their final 11 games. And then, of course, we've had that awful red team of last year, rough and rowdy.
I'll tell you, when I see the red, Norman, it just doesn't emanate winning.
No.
It's only losing.
It's crazy.
And as good as they can be, I will never see them as a winning team because of that red jersey.
They're going to try to change
Now,
your
if
mind
there's
on
anybody that could change that, it's Max D to Nike Mavora. That's
Okay.
for sure. And
Okay.
Eddie R,
And how about Eddie R? 8 for 9.
Yeah,
8
incredible.
for 9 from the old man. 8 for 9 from the extremely old second baseman.
I'm just very having a ton of post-traumatic stress from that red team.
So the red team this year is not as bad as the previous red
For
teams.
sure not.
And they took it to a lifeless, dare I say, a very boring to the moon squad. Captained by Mo Aber. They were nagging a lot. They were talking to each other a little bit. They weren't as up as they should be. Early on they were, and I noted it on the recaps. Carlos was up and Haber was really trying.
Yeah.
But it then diverted to just personal attacks between Haber and Max Yedid. Got a little ugly on both ends. Wasn't pretty to watch. Wasn't fun to be there. And it wasn't really good softball on To the Moon's part. Credit the Aces. They took care of business. They swept them and they move on. They go to 3-1. But To the Moon had to make a move they looked really bad. And you know what? They made a big trade. They acquired Bub, and they acquired Jackie Eshko, and they acquired the recovering Elliot Saka.
The recovered Elliot Saka. He's been cleared.
He's been cleared by his doctors.
He's been cleared for baseball activity. I guess now this is the time to break down that trade.
What do you think of the trade?
I couldn't believe it, Norman.
Okay.
I could not believe it. I said, obviously we're dealing with two great softball minds in Mo Haber and A.B. Saka. I think Mo Haber got the vast majority of the trade here. I think A.B. Saka focused a ton too much on Carlos Abadi's glove as the factor here. I think Mo Haber got way too much in return for AB's bunch. I think trade goes to Mo Haber. Obviously, I could be wrong.
Well, 3 out of 5 agree with you. 3 out of 5 on Instagram agree with you. It was a large, when you usually do a trade poll, it's usually much closer to 50-50.
Yeah.
This was 60-40. So they happen to agree with you. Many saying that this trade reeks of JT involvement. That's what they're saying.
JT loves Kush. We know that.
Yeah.
We know that.
I mean, Kush is hitting great this year. Kush is hitting great.
He's a great player.
He's hitting great. He hasn't been great in this league. He's been great in the night league. He hasn't been great here, but he's hitting great this year. Let's see if he can keep it up. He's batting over 600, which is amazing. And Al Salter is hitting the ball hard.
Yeah.
So
it just seems like a major infusion to Mo Haber's team. I think he crushed the trade.
Okay.
I don't know that on the flip side, the A.B. Saka, like you want to have like a jump start, when you're 0-4. I think Mo Haber just got the jumpstart guys. You're going to see Bub screaming, maybe you'll pull up the welcome to 2020
Are MC
video.
and Steven Shalou, as good as they are, too quiet of a leadership duo on that team where...
So I think they are both very quiet.
Yeah.
I think also they're going to have to figure out that it's a team sport. MC can't get thrown out on the base pads.
No.
Unacceptable. Can't get thrown on the base pads. And you gotta if this team now is much deeper than they were 3 days ago. So they can get singles from MC, single from Shalou, single from Mo Haber, Elliot Saka, Bump. These are guys that can put up a 6-run inning. Which is not what they were doing.
And I think their D is okay now also. And Jackie Eshko didn't have a good week defensively.
I think they're
Let's talk about
now.
the Cherokee Tribe now. That game against the Knights, those were crazy games. And I want to bring in our special guest over here. Come into the camera. We have a special guest. Not every day we get a player of the week to join us.
How do I look?
You look great, man.
Thank you.
We have our special guest here to my right, Eddie Turner.
That's right.
Eddie, welcome to the show. Thank you for
having
coming. Let's talk about your games. Cherokee's Tribe entered at 0-2. The Knights came in at 1-1. Both teams are shorthanded. No Elliot Saka, no Michael Beta. So figure a pretty even drop off for both teams. Let's call it a wash, let's say. And the Knights took a raucous lead in this game. David Farka hit a Farka-esque home run. One of those majestic bombs, like Darryl Strawberry himself, that lefty swing.
Yeah.
My brother Joseph was playing right field. He said it's the fastest he's seen a ball get to right field and over his head in his entire life.
He did that butter leap, that video you had jump on the plate.
Can I tell you, David Farka is the best hitter in this league by far. And my performance 7 for 7. If he wasn't on this team, I'm probably striking out.
Take us through your performance and how this happened, why this happened. Have you been working on your craft? What's going on?
I've been working on the craft. I've been going to Kevin like once a week, hopefully. Trying to get my reps. And I'm just nice day. I woke up, had a great morning, got my rook coffee, and
any breakfast or just coffee?
I had a banana.
Okay.
And I was just like, there's no Michael Beta. Last year, it was tough for me to get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Because, I was rookie and I was playing catcher. I didn't bat most games. Every at-bat, I had to prove something.
Mm-hmm.
No Michael Beta, so I was setting the lineup. So I'm like, okay, let me just get up there, be confident, do what I know what I could do. I really hit horrible in the warm-ups. I got like 5 swings, didn't even make it out of the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
And first pitch, A.B. Saka gives me the meatball, belt one, and I was just like, wow, I'm feeling it. I called my dad. I hit a triple my first hit.
You called your dad during the game?
Told my dad to pull up. He never wants to pull up because I'm usually playing terrible.
Right.
Like I don't think I got a hit ever.
Mm-hmm.
So now I told him I got 2 triples, pull up. He comes, and then I hit a nice shot. I was just feeling it. Now I'm 3 for 3. I remember telling you.
Yeah.
I go, I'm winning player of the week this week from before the game.
You told me before the games. I was here bringing the drink, so figure it was 8:30, let's say.
Yeah.
Half hour before game time. but you're always confident. You told me
Yeah.
last year I'm rookie of the year. When you signed up
thought I
this
had
year,
that,
I'm
yeah.
MVP. So when you pulled up, I wish I had my camera on me at the time. It was charging. But you tell me I'm player of the week this week. And
It was a
I was
little-
like, okay, you know, Turner's player of the week. Let's see it happen. And I told you,
if anybody took that bet at the Jimmy Malak Sportsbook, that was paying out plus 10,000. Wow. Plus 10,000 for Turner to get player of the week.
now the amazing thing about Turner's day is that he went 7 for 7, but the hits were serious hits. There were no ground balls that went through somebody's legs.
Yeah.
These were line drive hits, triples,
pretty nice
doubles,
shots,
triples,
yeah.
doubles. Okay, Cherokee's Tribe, by the way, went down big in these games and then very late made a comeback in both games. In the second game, they got it to 10-8 with Ali Marshall up. Did you feel like you were about to see the biggest meltdown of the season? You were up 10-2 in that game.
So I can tell you from behind the plate, I was looking at all these guys. JT when he pulled up to the plate, guy at the eye of the tiger. I thought he was gonna hit it over the fence.
Yeah.
But this guy Leo, like he gets too much slander. I think Leo's a great pitcher. You know, we have a great field behind him, and with Max Sutton at shortstop, a lot of people, you guys were doubting us. You thought we were gonna go down 0-2, but you know we pulled through for him, and he pulled through for us.
Yeah, I didn't doubt Max at short because Max played short last year, and Max is a shortstop, so I
Yeah.
really didn't doubt that. What I doubt about you guys, I doubted Leo for sure, and I didn't think Turner could go 7 for 7. I didn't think Turner was
infield
ready
as a
to
whole. I
emerge.
wouldn't say we were hating on Max Sutton. We weren't. I think he's great at short tender. I think he's a very capable shortstop. But then you're telling us there was definitely a range issue on the infield last week, which they obviously handled very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
You had DR, you had Max. These are guys that are Gold Glove superstars.
Right.
They
Yeah.
just they're not going to have the range that Joe Eschko has or like a Mark Braha. It's just a different type of range.
Turner, what do you think of Cherokee's Tribe as a team then
You
and
knew-
even after the trade? Yeah, what's your opinions?
I mean, their team's great on paper. Like, AB Sack is one of the best pitchers in the league, obviously. JT, you know, guys, Trout of the league, one of, you know.
Okay, that's being very generous.
Yeah,
What
Very
do you really
Very
think of Joe
generous
Eschko? I mean,
to
they're
JT.
0-4. They're 0-4.
I guess he's
I mean,
Trout-
I didn't think Jackie Eschko was gonna make 4 errors.
Right.
You know, Ali Marshall didn't hit as good as he could.
Yeah.
You know, I was on one. Farka, Marty, we were hitting like we're capable of hitting without Michael Beta. I feel like, but we kind of not ended their season, but now they're 0-4. They had to make a trade. Obviously, it seems like they lost because Saul said that Maurice Haber won the trade.
What do you think? Who do you think won the trade?
Opinion.
I mean, I don't really know what Elliot. I never really saw Elliot Saka play. I saw him
Okay.
like last year a little bit. I don't know with this whole injury situation. I don't. You know, the truth is, I feel like you gotta have a team that works good together. Like you could have great guys.
Of course.
Meaning, like last year, I feel like was a great team that I had Jack Abadi, Jake Dweck. These guys are great. But there was something at the end of the season that just didn't work. Meaning, like Sammy Towell was an MVP candidate, but like where'd it go wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something had to have went wrong.
There was a disconnect for
Perhaps
sure.
the blow up you and Leo had on the mound when he decided
was
to tell you
ridiculous.
where to sit.
Yeah, what was that about, and how
was that
do you
about?
feel about catching Leo once again this year after that show up that he gave you
So-
last year?
So I don't know if I could be a little honest. Like before the season, I was like, you know, I'd be like in the cages and I would like be like, oh, I'm gonna hit a dinger off Leo. You know, that was my thing
I
this
don't know
year.
why he keeps
Right.
going up and down.
No, and
while
it's
we're
like a
recording.
stomp
Very loud.
also. It's like as hard as you could possibly go up. There we go. Okay, yeah, go.
Play short.
Yeah.
So now, before the season, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to go yard on Leo.
Really?
I was like, that was one of my things, like my motivations. But nothing against him. I was just like, you know, like kind of stood me up. But Leo's a great guy, great pitcher, and I love catching him. You know.
So it's
Time
good
for
to
some
see
predictions
you,
with Eddie Turner and Saul Towell. All right.
All right, let's do it.
Eddie, we'll start with the. Actually, no, you guys are not going to bet your own game. It's the
We're sweeping them 2-0.
Knights
I'll say it
versus
from
Tigers.
now.
All right, you're going to say you're sweeping. You're going to say you're sweeping. Very good.
Not only are we sweeping them, I think we're gonna bagel them 20-0.
20-0
game. That's what we're going
bagel.
for. With Michael Beta back, are you crazy?
Knights
We're the best team in the
Tigers.
league.
Okay, well, I love the confidence, and I love that you think that's going to happen.
That's
I don't.
absurd.
I think
Let's not be absurd here.
Okay, so what?
20-0 and 20-0.
Yes.
That's who you think it's gonna be
No,
40-0.
No, he's
I
saying
think
20
second
total,
game. I think second game's gonna be like 11-4 maybe. you know?
11-4. So you
Well,
have it.
two blowouts.
So it's gonna be
Two
31. Combined score of 31 to 4.
Yeah, probably somewhere
You're
around
gonna,
there.
you're gonna go 7 for 7 again.
let's see. Maybe they'll move me up in the line. Maybe I'll go 8 for 8. No, I'm just kidding. No. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I don't know.
I love the confidence.
Guy's out of his mind.
You know what? If he told you 7 for 7 going before this week, you'd say the same thing. Like he's out of his
The
mind.
truth is,
I hear you, but if you say it every week,
hey,
there's
listen.
that
I'm
fact.
going for 7 for 7 any given time, but like, I'm just, I don't know.
Okay, you guys are both going to be a little upset because you will split on Sunday. You will lose a game and you will win a game. The infusion of Sam Michon is very good for time. It fixes their D.
Yeah.
Like we said, you put Shimmy and Aharon in the corners now. T Puppy, I guess DH is now. They get Nate Patesh back. I like the D a lot better on
They
time.
got a good squad.
I like the
Any
speed.
team with Zach Ashkenazi, like you could never count them out.
Can't count him out. Jeffrey's very smart pitcher. I see a split over there because you guys just have too much manpower for them to sweep. I see a split. Also, Sam Michon hasn't played softball in 7-8 years. I think it's going to take him a little bit of time to get into his groove.
What about Joe Ashkenazi? What do you guys think of Joe Ashkenazi?
Joe Ashkenazi?
His little brother. He's little brother.
Oh. Joe Ashkenazi's his brother. He's a better fielder than I thought he was. He looks really comfortable in the infield. I think he's playing short center for them, and I think he's a solid fielder. I haven't seen much from his bat yet, but give him time. Like
sure.
you said, I was always like in your situation, like maybe I'm batting one game, this and that, and then the pressure's on. Like I got to get a hit every single time. And then it just gets progressively worse because you put in so much pressure on yourself. I'd like to see him get an opportunity to play and get 7-8 at-bats in a week and see what he does.
He's working hard.
Okay, moving on to the game of the week on this field. Called by Elliot Eldongo Anthony on YMSL 2 because we have the Mother's Day banquet on YMSL 1. So YMSL 2, Aces at 3-1 versus Threat Level Midnight at 3-1. Saul.
this is very tough. I got Eddie Harari texted me after his sweep
Yep.
because I had predicted him to get swept by Nate B. This is a very tough thing. I gotta go split here. Good pitchers duel. Eddie Harari, Max.
Very good pitching on this field.
I think these games are gonna be determined by like the one bad inning in the field or the one strong inning with the bats. I think they'll split.
Okay, and turn.
So, Max D versus Eddie Harari. I saw Threat Level Midnight week 1, and obviously it was like week 1, we were both rusty, but they're a great team. Buka's going to be the best player in the league in 2 years. So I think Dave's going to win Player of the Week this week, and they're going to either sweep or split, but it's going to be a great game.
What's your prediction? Sweep or split?
I'll take a split. I'll take a split.
Sweep or split.
I'll
I
take a
got to
split.
go
I'll
with
take a
my
split.
boys on Threat Level Midnight. I think that's the top team in the league. I think the Aces are good. Don't get me wrong. Loudon is handling the outfield. I know I questioned that early on. I didn't say he can't handle it. I just said I never saw him play, so I didn't know. He's a fine outfielder. I just think Threat Level Midnight is the cream of the crop in the league right now. I will go that Threat Level Midnight will sweep the Aces and Max Yedid on Sunday.
It's a good prediction, a strong prediction.
Kakambas 4-0 versus Cherokee's Tribe 0-4 on Ocean Port 2.
Let's start with this, Norm. What is your prediction? Will Jacobati get out? Will he make out in the game?
Jacobati will get out this week.
Wow.
He has to. It's softball. It's baseball.
You have to get out.
He's 17 for 17 this year. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I don't care who is batting. No one can go 3 weeks without getting out.
How many
All
intentional
respect.
walks does he get a week?
He had 5
4
the
or
first
5.
week and at least 2 or 3 last week. I don't know how many were intentional, Saul. Do you remember?
I want to say only 2 were intentional, but
And
the other
1
3, I mean,
unintentional.
you're not giving a lollipop.
Of
you know?
course
They're
not.
just not giving him any gifts.
At some point, no matter how good you are, you hit a line drive to the third baseman at 100 miles an hour and the guy catches it. Or you try to hit a bomb and you pop up. He's
I mean,
human.
obviously he's going to get out, but
He will get out, but it's not so
I
obvious
know he
anymore.
will get out. I'm asking, will he get out this week?
I
he's
think
getting out this
I think this week he gets out. Does
Okay,
Cherokee
who are they
Tribe
playing?
get a
Cherokee?
game at 0-4? Could they get a game? Could they get 2?
So I'll tell you, if you're the Kakambas that are steamrolling the league right now, as it seems, I mean, just from the record, I don't know that you want to face Cherokee Tribe because they're very desperate.
I hear that.
This is essentially playoff week for AB Saka.
100%.
Right? You can't go. You have to win game 1. And you gotta say, I gotta be in a position to be 2-4 at the end of today. You gotta win game 1, right? If you split, you're gonna say the same thing next week. It's a playoff week. Pretty much every game from now on is a playoff week for AB Saka. I don't see him sitting down. I don't see that team going 0-6.
So your
They had too
prediction?
many guys. I'm gonna go with a split. I'm gonna say Cherokee wins game 1.
Turn?
I think that they're going to split also. I think they're too good to go 0-6 on the year, especially with Ali Marshall, JT, those guys. But Jacobati's going to get out also.
I agree with
split.
you. I think it's a split also because something's got to give. I mean, that team has players, and it's just softball. And why can't JT be the one to go 6 for 6 this week? You know, like
Very well can.
They were a little fuming after my game. I think it was the call where the ump on third base called him out. I think he just wanted to go home. And A.B. Saka, and I think it was Ali. They were fuming. I thought they were going to get thrown out like something crazy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it seems I thought the call was horrible, but then upon further review, it seems Ali never even got to the base. It seems like a
I couldn't
professional
really tell.
call, maybe. So hard to tell. But either way, I mean, they've been giving up dozens of runs. So that's, that one call is the least of their issues.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they got to get a game because we're all human, and the Kakambas have to be overlooking this team. As much as they're saying they're not, human nature has to come in. They think they're going to walk in and kill them, and Abadi's going to try to diffuse that. He's going to try to get his team not to feel that way, and that we have to play good and play 14 innings, but human nature kicks in. Still A.B. Cohen on the mound. I gotta say Cherokee's Tribe somehow gets a game to keep their season afloat.
I agree.
Now let's go to Oceanport 1, To the Moon at 0-4 versus You Gotta Believe at 2-2.
To the Moon, 0-4 versus You Gotta Believe. So they get a quick test early. They get Naby thrown right at him. Naby's got to be pissed after getting swept.
Yeah.
I actually saw him that night at the wedding of my third baseman, Nate, and he was very upset. He was visibly shaking.
Yes.
There's no way he's getting swept again. It would be wild for the league because it would be something that has never happened before. I just don't see it. Now, Mo Haber's team, I gotta go split again. As much as I want to give the sweep to someone, I gotta go split.
No problem. I mean, don't be pressured. Pick what you think is going to happen.
It's a split.
Okay.
Mo Haber team is gonna get their first win, but they just run into trouble facing Navy when they gotta win 2 or when they're in playoff mode. They'll win 1 this week. Next week they'll try to rebound and sweep whoever they're playing.
Turner, talk to me. What do you got?
So I agree with Saul. I think that Navy's going to have a little bit of an animal in him. I just got off the phone with Solomon Dweck.
Dean.
He said he's going to be turning up this week. And also another legend, Jaime Shama, went 0 for 8 last week. That's
Wow.
something that's never going to happen again. I think that Jaime Shama is going to be coming in with a little bit more energy, and he's going to turn up, and they're going to put up a lot of runs. And
Amazing
I don't really-
stat.
I
Good
don't-
job, Turner.
I mean, he told me after the week, but I don't
Yeah.
really know that much about To the Moon. I know it's the Haber team,
yeah.
and I'm sure that off the trade they look a little better. So I'm calling a sweep. Not a sweep, a split.
I am calling a sweep for To the Moon. They will be 2-4 after this week, and Naby should have made a trade this week before the game. He did not. I don't like his offense. Jordy is hurt. I don't know if Jordy's playing. If he is playing, he's playing at 50%. That's your shortstop. They would have to put Hank or H at shortstop. That opens up third or some other position. So I think they have a problem with that, and I don't like their offense at all. I really have to think Ralph Hannon has to step up this week. Enough of the nonsense.
How's he been?
He's been terrible,
Okay.
and he's got to wake up, and I think this is the week that he wakes up.
Ralph Hannon
I
can
think-
be an elite pitcher on any given week.
Okay?
He can carry a team at any given time. So
It's got to be now.
It has to be now.
It's got to be now.
4.
Also,
But he can
Naby
do it.
is such
He
a
can do
good
it for
pitcher,
sure.
but this team might be built okay for Naby because they have MC, they have Shalou, and even their role players are not the type that are going to be like intimidated by Naby. Elliot
I'm
Saka, Bub, Juber. These guys have
Yeah.
faced Naby for many years.
I
You
want
know?
to say Bub has unreal stats versus Navy.
Does he? I don't know.
I don't want to quote that, but I think he hits him very well.
Well, I think this team is built good, but I need to see more vocal leadership. Not just vocal, but vocal leadership from Michael Cohen and Steven Shalou. They got to be the guys rallying the troops, not just Haber and not just the new guys that came into the team this week. We got to see a team that comes together. I think they could sweep. You got to believe. I really do.
Yeah.
If they do, it'll send tremors through the league. I think it's going to happen.
I think it could happen, but I feel like both teams are they have so much right now that they have to play for that.
Yep.
It's just going to be both games, low scoring.
Okay.
Making sure they're making all their plays. I think they're gonna. I think it's split all over.
For the teams at the bottom, which is Time And even you got to believe at 2-2, but Time at 1-3, and then Cherokee, and then To the Moon. The pressure, there's like a playoff pressure all of a sudden that you don't normally get in week 3. We don't usually have this. 3 teams that have terrible records, but
Plus,
here we are.
We eliminated one roster spot
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
the pressure is on. So let's see what happens. I want to
Norm,
thank you
out of
both.
all
Oh,
those
yeah.
teams, all the 0-4 teams. How do you rank them?
There's only 2 of them.
I would say, no, but
Whatever,
with
those the
Time in
bottom
there.
teams. The bottom teams. How do you rank them? I mean, I'm not paying attention. My team's in second place. We're
Right.
getting a little cozy, but
Yeah, you're getting cozy up there in the penthouse. I get it. I would say, I think the order is, I would say Time is the best of those teams. I think Time should have at least another win.
Okay.
Then I'd say To the Moon, and then I'd say Cherokee Tribe. But it also comes down to lucks, to breaks, and to how a team comes together. You know, if MC and Shalou don't step up this week, you could be looking at an 0-6 team that just falls out and could go 0-14. So we'll see how it goes. Guys, thank you so much. For Soul Towel, our regular. For Eddie Turner, who may become a regular play of the week. Who knows? That may become a new position for you.
hopefully, yeah.
Great job. I'm seriously
little
I'm
nervous
proud of
now,
you
too.
when a catcher that doesn't get so many at bats shows up and rips 7 clean base hits like you did. Awesome job.
Thank you.
I'm sure you had a great week this week, and good luck to all the teams. Mother's Day, 8:30 start, because we love our mothers. Thank you guys. We'll see you at the fields.